Hey there! Looks like the Institute is sending us off to Scotland to learn about our next monster. Oh! I know what we'll be learning about today, and I am pumped! I've always been fascinated by the legend of the Loch Ness Monster. Here we are at Loch Ness in the Scottish Highlands. For nearly a century, people around the world have been captivated by tales of the Loch Ness Monster, often called Nessie, a mysterious creature said to lurk in the depths of this very lake. Our assignment for today is to learn more about the Loch Ness Monster by exploring the historical origins of sea serpent myths and why they persist today. Then we'll analyze the role of fear in shaping these stories. People have been reporting sightings of a monster in Loch Ness for centuries, but the legend of Nessie really started to take shape in the 1930s. In the decades since, the fascination with this legendary creature has led to several scientific explorations to try to prove that she's real. So far, no valid evidence of Nessie's existence has been found, but people continue to believe she's out here, lurking beneath the surface. What do you think makes Nessie so intriguing? Why do stories of a hidden creature in a lake capture people's imaginations? Well, the Loch Ness Monster isn't just a modern mystery. It's part of a much older tradition of sea serpent myths that have fascinated people for centuries. To truly understand Nessie, we need to look back at the ancient stories that shaped our fascination with creatures of the deep. Belief in sea serpents lurking in the depths has been part of human storytelling for thousands of years, appearing in myths and legends from cultures around the world. From the crashing waves of the ocean to the still waters of remote lakes, people have always imagined what might be lurking beneath their surface. In fact, early maps often illustrated the edges of the known world with drawings of these creatures, warning explorers of the dangers that lay beyond familiar territory. In Scandinavian folklore, sailors feared the kraken, a massive, tentacled beast capable of pulling entire ships beneath the waves. In Norse mythology, Jormungandr, the world's serpent, was said to encircle the earth, its immense size and power symbolizing the chaos of the sea. Across continents and cultures, stories of mysterious sea serpents ruling the waters with their sheer strength share some striking similarities. Sea serpents are often described as enormous, fearsome creatures, unlike any known species, with serpent-like attributes. They're known to be dangerous, capable of sinking ships and swallowing sailors whole. Despite their vast size, sea monsters also have the ability to disappear and remain hidden beneath the waves. They're frequently associated with vast, uncharted waters, the mysterious places humans cannot easily explore. Sea serpent myths may have existed for millennia, but even as science began to expand our understanding of the natural world, belief in these monsters persisted. In 1848, the crew of the HMS Daedalus reported seeing a massive, serpent-like creature off the coast of Africa. The sailors described it as being over 60 feet long, with a dragon-like head, swimming swiftly through the water. While scientists today believe the crew may have seen a giant squid or an oarfish, at the time, the story was covered in the newspapers and reignited fears of the unknown lurking beneath the waves. The unearthing of massive fossils such as plesiosaurs, marine reptiles with long necks and small heads, reshaped ideas about what might be lurking in unexplored places. Nessie, often described with similar features, became linked to these prehistoric creatures. This blending of ancient myths with modern discoveries shaped how Nessie is depicted as a living fossil, the the last of a long extinct species. Now, despite the lack of proof that Nessie or other sea monsters are really out there, why have people continued to believe in them? Well, these stories speak to humanity's deep-seated fears of what could be lurking in the depths, plus the universal allure of a good mystery. Sea monster myths are not just stories. They reflect deep-seated fears that have shaped human history. To understand these fears, we need to consider both the personal and societal challenges faced by people, especially sailors, throughout the centuries. Let's take a moment to reflect. Imagine being a sailor hundreds of years ago, venturing out into uncharted waters. What fears could sea serpents represent? On a psychological level, sea monsters represent the fear of the unknown. The ocean was vast, dark, and unpredictable. For sailors in the past, weeks or even months would pass without any sight of land, leaving them surrounded by miles of water and consumed by the thought of what might lie beneath. These stories gave shape to their fears, creating monsters out of the shadows below. Even today, the deep ocean remains one of the least explored places on Earth, and the mystery of what could be hiding there continues to spark our imaginations. On a societal level, sea monsters represented the uncontrollable power of nature. For communities whose survival depended on the sea, every voyage was a gamble. Storms, shipwrecks, and disappearances were common, and it wasn't unusual for ships to leave port and never return. Why do you think that would inspire stories of sea serpents? Well, stories about creatures like the Kraken, a massive beast capable of pulling entire ships under, helped explain these tragedies and gave people a way to make sense of the dangers that seemed beyond human control. Do you think these fears are as relevant today as they once were? Why or why not? Jot down your thoughts. What do you think? Well, over time, as scientific and technological advancements revealed more about the ocean and its creatures, these myths began to shift. With a better understanding of marine life, the fears surrounding sea monsters faded. Today, no one imagines the Loch Ness monster attacking boats or dragging sailors to their doom. Instead, Nessie represents the allure of a good mystery, the exciting possibility that a giant, unidentified creature could still be hiding in plain sight, eluding human discovery. Stories of sea monsters now inspire wonder rather than fear, reminding us of the vast mysteries nature still holds. As much as I'd like to catch a glimpse of Nessie myself, I know she's just a legend. But how cool would it be if she were real? I guess that's why people want to believe and are willing to keep searching despite the lack of proof. Look at that! We've unlocked the next piece of the codex. Be sure to complete your research in your lesson materials and to finish up with online practice. Remember, stay legendary. Hey.